Dead Space 3, we're doing hardcore mode. We're on Chapter 1, Rude Awakening, AA Gamer for Life. Okay, on hardcore mode, I mentioned in the previous video, and I'll probably do out through all the walkthrough videos, that at the end of every video there's a little minute clip on how to save the game.
Isaac, I know you're there. Come on, pick up the phone.
So don't be worrying about hardcore or that if you die you got to go back to the beginning. As long as you get a zip drive, thumb drive, or something to save the game on an external source, you can easily copy and save the game. And I recommend you do that at the end of every chapter for sure. Or if you're coming up to a part where you're just not comfortable and you're worried about the game, that you may die, then go to your dashboard, save the game. Anyway, so we're on hardcore mode, and that means we're starting fresh. No cool weapons or anything from our previous save game.
Get the fuck off.
And I will be doing this whole game in co-op. It's just the first part of this beginning chapter I'm doing by myself. When we get to the second half of the chapter, I'll be joined by my co-op partner, and we'll be doing the rest of the game in co-op.
I didn't make shit. Your government made me.
Pretty much anytime you got a game and you can do it in co-op, it's going to make your life a lot easier, so don't be worried about it. It ain't like trying to do a boss on Borderlands 2 on one of those crazy add-ons. The thing with the hardcore is that what makes it hard is that if you die, you go back to the very beginning of the game. And trust me, if you do die, you will not have time to pause the game and reload the checkpoint. It's like as soon as you're dead, it saves automatically, so you just won't have the time there. So just a good tip, make sure that you save the game on a zip drive. You want to do it at the end of every chapter, or like I mentioned, if you're at a point where you believe you may die in the middle of a chapter, just save, quit. Go to your dashboard, save it to your thumb drive, and just follow the steps at the end of every video on how to do that. Okay, so once the action finally gets going on here, you see him looking at his little picture of Ellie, and that was the girl that you meet in the middle of Dead Space 2, because we all know what happens to his original girl, Nicole, I think her name was. Anyway, considering this is a fresh game, all the collectibles are there, and you do want to take the time to collect all that stuff. All that stuff will be in the video. The most important thing are the artifacts. You want to make sure that you collect those. Those are the things that will upgrade your circuits at the later part of the game, mostly towards the end of Chapter 14. I also mentioned that it's really not worth buying any of the weapon packs or the suits to anything like that. If you want to spend some extra money, buy the resources. That's really the key. I bought several of the resource packs, and when we get to our first bench, I'm able to buy the pitch black weapon and upgrade it to the way I like it. And you need resources to do that with. Any of the weapons that you buy off of the bench with the resources, so just the gamer's choice. If there's like a weapon that you really like, you want to buy a pack, go right ahead, but I didn't really find them beneficial. I bought the weapons pack. The suits do not work the same as in Dead Space 1 or 2, so anyway, so just continue on with the level. The difficulty of the game is basically on what they call hard. The hardcore mode is basically if you die, you go back to the beginning. All the other modes are basically the same, and the checkpoints and saves work just normal. So let's say you hit a save spot, you just want to go off with your life and quit. Don't worry, just save the game and it'll put you back at your last save spot. The whole thing about hardcore is if you die, you go back to the very beginning of the game. So as long as you follow the steps on saving your game to a zip drive, you're golden. So that'll be one achievement you can get. and it ain't gonna really affect you. So, and it only takes a few minutes to save it to a zip drive, and it just gives you that thing. Because me and my partner, we talked about it. We were just like, dude, I just don't want to invest several hours into getting into a certain part of the game, and you die, and you got to go back to the beginning. I'm like, I'm just not down with that. And he was in agreement too. We were just like, we're not going to go there. The achievement just wasn't worth it. But then when I came up with the little plan to save the zip drive, it just was like, oh yeah, all right, that's cool. We can do that. And it's not something that you can do and your partner can't do. You both have to do it, because if he dies and you don't, it works the same for both of you. So you both need to save the game to your zip drive. So every time we did it together.
Why are these fanatics
so like at the end of chapter 1, we go to the dashboard, we save the game. And then, you know, he does the same thing too. So
Convergence?
And like I believe in chapter 2, I made a mistake and I died. And I had to go into the dashboard, delete the game, move it from the zip drive to the hard drive. So it's just one of those things. It's a little on the time-consuming side, but play the game and enjoy it, and not really sweat it. I wish there was a way to do that with Dead Space 2 hardcore mode. Unfortunately, you can't. With this autosave, the way it works in Dead Space 3, you're good. You can use a zip drive. But in Dead Space 2, it's not the same thing. In Dead Space 2, you're only allowed 3 saves throughout the whole game. So you need to pick and choose where to go. And then if you die, it goes back to your last save spot. So let's say you saved it in chapter 6 and you made it all the way to chapter 10 or 11 and you die, well, you're going back to chapter 6. So you have to pick and choose the best spot to use your saves. And obviously you want to save one of those saves for the very end, before the boss battle at the end. So it's not an easy thing to do.
Shit. I've hit the freeway. Then cross it. They're unmanned transports.
But there are tips on helping, you know, making your life easier in Dead Space 2 on doing hardcore. I never did it. I just played the game on Z-Lot. I just didn't want to sacrifice the time on playing it. I just had other things to do. But anyway, this is Dead Space 3 and we're doing hardcore. And because it's on an autosave and using the zip drive, it does make your life a little easier. Make sure you get your artifact right there. You don't want to miss that. Okay, there are 2 artifacts in this first chapter. We'll see that in the next video. If you do spend some of the money for the resource packs, you know, it just makes your life a lot easier. You can upgrade your weapons. You can make extra health and ammo and stasis packs. Whatever your style of gaming is, it's really all about having the resources. This game is not geared about money like it is for the resources. And spending money on that makes your life a lot easier. And knowing the way I know it now, I wouldn't have bought the weapon packs because I didn't really use the weapons. I wind up just making the pitch black Gatling gun and putting a shotgun underneath it, and then buying the Air Force gun and upgrading that the way I like it too. And again, that's all about the resources. So my recommendation would not buy the weapons, and if you do want them, you can buy them at any given time. So but the thing is, with the hardcore mode and all the other modes, pretty much exception of the pure survival, you can't get to your bench till halfway through chapter 3, which ain't a real big deal. Pretty much chapter 2 is a really short chapter, and just about a quarter way into chapter 3 you get to your bench, and then you can start making your weapons. and then a little bit further down you'll get your suits, but unfortunately I don't really dig any of the ones I bought. Because we're on hardcore mode, the suits that you unlock will be there to be used. I like the engineering suit, that's kind of my suit. But anyway, okay, so when we hit through this door, I guess it'll be the next one, when we get the little cinematic with Danik, and then he kind of, we avoid getting shot and fall down a hole. That's going to trigger some more enemies, but we're going to break the video there. When we come back, I'll be in with my co-op partner then. So from that point on, it'll be all co-op. And again, just make sure that you follow the tips on saving the game to a zip drive, and make sure that he does the same thing too. Definitely looking forward to getting to a bench so I can get to my weapons. I don't know if it was a glitch or something, but for some reason, the very first time I played the game,
Bring him here.
I made the pitch black Gatling gun, but I was able to make 2+2 circuits. And every time I pick the pitch black again, I'll have 2+2 circuits in it, and it's like that was a nice, pleasant glitch. So
don't waste your energy. You're going to be dead in a matter
it's
of
definitely
minutes. Pick him up.
one of my favorite weapons. The only downside to the gun is it's not really well on distance, but mid-range to short range, it's a very good weapon.
Test lab. They're everywhere at all the major colonies and outposts.
What do you want from me?
As part of the marker test program, Isaac, you helped make them. And today, you of all people get to watch me set them free.
No, no. You'll kill everyone.
Death is only the beginning, Isaac. Nature must take its course, and I can't allow you or anyone else to stop that. Eyes forward, Isaac. Pay attention.
Okay, so like I said, after this, we're going to avoid getting shot, we're going to fall down a hole, and then we're going to break the video there, come back with the next part of Chapter 2, and I'll be joined with my co-op partner then. And obviously with a co-op partner, everything makes your life a lot easier. Okay, we'll see you on the next video. AA Gamer for Life. Okay, hardcore on Dead Space 3. The best thing to do is to save the game to a zip drive at the end of every chapter, or any place that you think you may die. You want to just go back to the dashboard, go under system settings, to storage, go to your hard drive, go under the game, Dead Space 3. You'll see the slot for hardcore, and just save it over to the zip drive. And now if you happen to die, what you do is you go back to the dashboard, you go into your hard drive, and you delete that one save spot, and then go to your zip drive and copy it back to your hard drive, and then you're golden. So basically what you're seeing here is to save it to your zip drive. If you do die, you just reverse the process to put the game back on your hard drive, and you're good. So don't sweat the hardcore, just follow this step, and if you die, just do that.